First story. It is important to keep your mind light. Once upon a time, two monks were traveling from one village to another. On the way, there was a river flowing with a strong current. As they were about to cross the river, they saw a beautiful young woman trying to cross it. The young woman asked them, "Can you help me cross the river?" The two monks looked at each other. They hesitated because they had taken a vow not to touch any woman. After a moment, the older monk, without saying anything, picked up the woman and carried her across the river. After crossing the river, the woman went on her way, and the two monks continued their journey. The younger monk couldn't believe what he had seen. He was confused about why the older monk had broken his vow. Should they have left the woman alone in the forest? Is helping others more important than their vow? Should the woman have waited? The younger monk wanted to ask but didn't say anything. An hour passed in silence, then 2 hours, then 3 hours. The younger monk couldn't hold it anymore and asked the older monk, "As monks, we are not allowed to touch any woman. How could you carry her on your shoulders?" The older monk smiled and looked at the younger monk and said, "I left that woman at the riverbank. Why are you still carrying her in your mind?" Life has many ups and downs. Sometimes situations change unexpectedly. Resisting change weakens our minds. Why did he say that? Why did she do that? We think that by pondering over these questions, we'll learn something new. But true wisdom lies in being present, in keeping the mind light, where problems and doubts resolve themselves. The moral of this story is that it's essential to let go of past actions and not dwell on them. Holding on to such thoughts can weigh us down and prevent us from living in the present moment. The story highlights the importance of mindfulness and not letting unnecessary worries or judgments cloud our minds. Second story. Mind becomes calm without any effort. Once upon a time, Gautam Buddha was traveling from one village to another village with his disciples. During the journey, they stopped by a river to rest. One of his disciples asked the Buddha, "How can we keep our mind calm when thoughts disturb us?" Buddha said, "I am very thirsty. Can you get me some water from the lake? Then I will answer your question." The disciple went to get water from the lake, but there were some people washing clothes there, so he went a bit further to bring clean water. As he was about to fill his pot, several bullock carts started crossing the river, making the water muddy. The disciple tried to fill the pot multiple times, but every time the water was dirty. Finally, he returned empty-handed and told Buddha what had happened. Half an hour later, Buddha asked that disciple to go again. This time, the water was clear. The disciple filled the pot and brought it back. He gave the water to Buddha and asked, "When I went earlier, the water was dirty everywhere, but now it is clear. How did this happen?" Buddha explained, "When you went earlier, the mud got mixed with the water because of the disturbance. But after waiting for some time, the mud settled down and the water became clear on its own." Our mind is like the river water. When it is agitated, we can't understand anything. Old thoughts like mud cloud our minds. Instead of trying to control them, we should wait calmly. Just like the mud settles down when the water is still, our mind becomes calm and clear without any effort.